In this video, we'll share with you sports being played at the Olympics. There might be some you have never heard of before, but don't worry because we know them all. We're going to go through a list of all these sporting events and what they entail with a little background on each one of them. Archery, an athletic event using bows and arrows. One of the oldest events in the Olympics, an event where you shoot your bow at targets. You can either use recurve or compound bows. There are 3 different distances. The shorter distance is 70 yards, the middle distance is at 90 yards, and the furthest distance is 120 yards. There are 4 arrows per end, and there's a total of 10 ends within one round. Rule number 1. Only 3 arrows per end. Rule number 2. The archer shoots the arrow from behind the line and stands on one side of it. Rule number 3. The archers must shoot in order. The next person cannot step up to place their arrow until they have retrieved all their arrows. Badminton, an athletic game which is played by 2 opposing players who take positions on opposite arms of a rectangular court divided by a net. The players use their racket to hit a shuttlecock across the net, and the opponent cannot let it bounce more than twice before returning it. There are just 4 main rules. Rule number 1. The serve must go over the net and only once. Rule number 2. The shuttlecock must be hit with the racket at a level below hip level. Rule number 3. A player cannot hit a shot that hits and remains on or inside the net. Rule number 4. Players must return the shuttlecock to the opponent's side of the court so that it will fall within play without touching any boundary line or the net. Artistic gymnastics. Gymnastics is a sport involving the performance of exercises requiring balance, strength, flexibility, agility, and endurance. There are 4 events for women and men: floor exercise, pommel oars, rings, and parallel bars. Rule number 1. Every movement must be executed in the correct order to receive credit. Rule number 2. Bouncing is not allowed. Rule number 3. The gymnast must do a minimum of 2 different releases, one from the high bar and one from the vaulting table. Artistic swimming. A swimming competition where the goal is to swim across the pool as fast as you can. You must stay within your lane, under a rope stretched across the pool's width and touch the end before returning. Rule number 1. The person must always keep their head above water and cannot push off from the wall. Rule number 2. There is a 15-meter rope that stretches across the width of the pool, and you must touch it before coming back. Basketball, an intense, fast-paced game involving 2 teams of 5 players each. The objective is to shoot the ball into an elevated basket attached to a backboard at either end of the court. Each basket scores 1 point, and you cannot pick up your dribble on your way towards the basket, meaning if your feet leave the ground, you must shoot it. Rule number 1. You get 3 points for throwing the ball through the hoop. Rule number 2. The offensive team cannot pick up their dribble. That means take more than 2 steps while trying to score. Boxing, an individual fight between 2 people wearing protective gloves. There are 3 different ways to score points. Rule number 1. 1 point is awarded for each clean punch that lands on your opponent. Rule number 2. 2 points are awarded if the boxer makes their opponent touch the canvas or the ropes with any part of their body other than their feet. Rule number 3. 3 points are awarded if the boxer makes their opponent step outside the ring with any part of their body other than their feet. Canoeing. This propulsion means a canoeist or kayaker uses a single-bladed paddle to pull a frontward stroke and sweeps back and forth to turn. Rule number 1. The competitor is allowed only 1 paddle at a time. Rule number 2. The competitor must remain flat in the boat throughout the event, or they will be disqualified. Wow, these sports are great, aren't they? Subscribe to this channel now so that you don't miss other exciting Olympic sports that we're bringing to your screen soon. Which of the rules from this video seems new to you? What do you like about these sports?